Welcome back to our IT Landy Nugget course for Microsoft Identity Management MIM 2016 overview. A quick recap to what we have covered in part 1. So, agenda. We managed to cover the evaluation of the tool, Identity Manager, then we moved toward the architecture of MIM 2016, then supported the platform. That was part 1. For today, we will cover the components, sync engine, surface and portal, certificate manager, BHOLD, hybrid reporting, and PAM. And then we finish it with the overview about what we have covered. Again, objective is to make yourself familiar and understand Microsoft Identity Manager components at high level, then understand how MIM components interact for different identity solution. A quick recap to the architecture as well. This is the screen we saw earlier, and you can see the component, how they interact with each other. Then for today, we will cover the first component, which is the sync surface. This component responsible for the synchronize the identity data between external data source like AD, SQL, table, HR system, HR database, MIM surface, flat file, and so on. It could be SAP, Salesforce, and extra. Now, the configuration are stored in a FIM synchronization surface database, and then we have connectors which are called management agents, which must be configured to pull the data from various sources. Now it could be the call based on MA, which is management agent, web services, or LDAP, depending on the tool which MIM need to interact with. Or it could be file-based text file, CSV, if the system does not have a connector, or if the vendor is not MIM aware, then we have to use this method, which means no matter what tool you have, if we are able to extract the data, we can automate these activities based on script, PowerShell, or other method. Then we have something called metadata or meta directory, and this is it's called metaverse basically, which will hold the aggregated identity data, everything we saw in earlier slide. And let me take you back to that screenshot. Here you can see the MIM sync. It's aggregating from different sources into that database to be able to amalgamate the information we need and send it back to the target. Then we have rules configured for syncing, attribute, precedence, provisioning, and deprovisioning from different systems. Give an example like HR system will be provisioning the identity account lifecycle from starter to leaver, automating, archiving, deleting, stripping permission, all of these by these rules. And then it can be deployed as a standalone, which require some extension as well. So quick recap, this tool is the engine of MIM. Now, with this tool, Microsoft, they use the same engine, which, if you recall earlier day, used to be a DRSync, directory synchronization, and they using the same engine with Azure or 365, and it's called Azure AD Connect. But it is principle-wise same like this, but the other one is they improved Microsoft a little bit, which means it is a GUI-based rather than this is through a portal or through the MMIS engine. Now, the next component is the portal, surface and portal. It depends on SharePoint or SharePoint Foundation, which is IIS. It can be standalone or load balanced. Again, it's web services. You can all the configurations stored in a FIM surface database, not the sync database, and integrate with MIM synchronization surface via the MIM sync management agent. It does store all the sync rules for declarative and codeless or syncing, provisioning, and deprovisioning. also allowing the users and group management, self-service scenarios, same like SSPR for password reset, registration, and it does act as a PAM database, privilege access management. And the last part is the most crucial part for a complicated scenario, being able to use the management policy rules, sets, and workflow through the portal, basically. So you can see this is really important. However, in addition to that one, now with the improved Microsoft, you can use even a little bit Java to customize it, .NET, the portal, banners, code. But this is what this component is all about, which means later on when we discuss how users enrolling, automating activity, they have to go to the portal, search, or basically attach or join, and then everything behind pre-provisioning, and they will feed the info to AD or to HR system or to whatever system you have in place. Next component is the reporting. Now, with the reporting, it depends on the system, center, service manager, and data warehouse. If you recall earlier, we said SC, SM, and DW, which is data warehouse, integrates with MIM service database to capture historical changes and the MIM service as well. It could be complex to deploy and maintain and provide the following reports after the box: group membership changes, set membership changes, group history, set history, user history, request history, and management policy rule history. I think that's all what I have for you for today, these three components. Let's recap what we have discussed so far. We started with setting objective, and then we said what was the agenda. We covered the high-level components, 3 only, but prior to that one, in part 1, we covered how this tool evolved, architecture-wise, and then the support platform, and then we spoke about the sync surface. We said this is the engine where we can sync objects, and you have different methods of importing and pulling data, either call-based MIs and web services or LDAP, or file-based, text-based, if the system does not support these above 3 methods. And then we spoke about the metaverse, where it holds all the data, aggregated data, and the rules where we pull the info. And then we move toward the self-sign portal, and this is where users can refer to either resetting password, creating, PAMs rules, self-service rules, group management, and it does refer to a MIM service database, which is different from the MIM sync database. And then the last component we spoke about today was the component about reporting, and then we said it does provide out-of-the-box report against group membership, set membership changes, history, set histories, user history, and request history, plus the last part, which is the crucial part, management policy rule history. And just to add to this part, if these reports are not enough, then you can, it's a PowerShell base, which means we can interrogate and get more report by adding more switches to fulfill our requirement, or we can create an API connector to pull more information and amalgamate it and provide different reports. Hopefully you have learned something useful on part 2. On part 3, we will continue with certificate management and BHOLD, and we finish this short course. Thank you for watching out, and I shall see you on part 3. Goodbye.